Good afternoon, guys. How are you today? Hopefully, you are safe and good. Today's session is about jobs. If you remember, last time we were talking about the present simple, and we have taken as an example doctors, lawyers. So, doctor and lawyer, this is an example of what? Yeah, exactly. Example of jobs. Okay, so here are some jobs that we are gonna take, and we are gonna take the common questions that are related to jobs as well. First, you can hear the word job, or you can hear the word career, or you can hear the word profession, or the word occupation. They have the same meaning almost. We can use any one of them. Okay, so if I asked you, what are the common questions that you hear related to the job part? Simply the first question that if you are speaking with a person, he can ask you is, what's your job? What's your job? And it's job, don't forget, okay? Ja, and the O pronounced like a in American English, or close to the A in American English, so it's a job, okay? Not job, okay? What's your job? You can ask this question, or there is another question that is equal in meaning, which is, what do you do? What do you do? Yeah, what do you do? What do you do? The same question. It means the same. So if I asked you guys, so what do you do? What do you do? It's like, what's your job? So you can answer, and you're gonna say, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a student, or whatever your job is. And don't forget, we always put a and an before the job. If you remember this, yes. And we said that we use a before consonants and n before vowels. Okay, do you remember the vowels? We have the five, yeah, the five letters: a, e, I, o, and u. Okay, we can ask this question to another person or about another person as well. Instead of saying, what's your job? I can ask, what's his? Yeah, exactly. Do you remember this? His or her. We can change the possessive adjective in this case. What's his job? What's her job? Or we can remove even his or her, and I can say, what's your father's job? What's your sister's job? So you can use the name of the person, or you can use the possessive adjective as well. If you are going to ask this question in the different way, we can say, instead of what do you do, of course, we are going to change you into he, your father or your mother or your brother or your sister. And in this case, we are going to use does, not do. So what does she do? What does she do? What does she do? Or what does he do? So what does she do? What does he do? He's a teacher, she's an accountant. So you can remove he and she and put the name of any person that you want to ask about. Okay? So it's the same answer, don't forget. He's a teacher or she's an accountant. Okay? So this is number one. So again, if I want to ask about your job, what's your job? What's your profession? What's your occupation? What's your career? But mostly we hear the word, what's your job? And the other question, what do you do? And you're going to answer, and I'm going to answer, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, or whatever. This is question number one that is related to the job. What about the second question? If you talk with people in conversation, so the first question, so what's your job? I'm a teacher. So where do you work? The second question, where, we said before that it asked about the place. So where do you work mean he asks about the workplace, the place of your work. So I work at, and you're gonna say, for example, I work, if I'm a doctor, I work at a hospital. Teacher, I work at a school. If I am an engineer, I work at a company, for example. Okay, so you can say any workplace that you want. Okay, very good. This is question number two. Question number three. So again, let's make a conversation. Okay, I'm gonna ask you, what's your job? You said, for example, that you are An engineer. So I'm an engineer. Where do you work? I work at a company. Number three, what's question number three that people all the time ask? What company do you work for? What school do you work for? What hospital do you work for? So it means he asks about the name of the company or the name of the school or the name of the hospital that you work for. So, for example, if I said, what's your job? I'm a teacher. Where do you work? I work at a school. What school do you work for? I work for El Orman School, for example. So, what hospital do you work for? I work for, let's say, Al Al Aini Hospital. I work for Hindawi Company, the name of the company. So, what company do you work for? It means he asks about or she asks about the name of the place that you work for. So, question number four that is related also to job. When do you work? It means he asks about now the time. When do you start your work? You are a part-timer or a full-timer. So I work from 9 to 5. So I am from 9 to 5, it means full-time, like 8 hours per day. Part-time, it means you work for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours per day, okay? So when do you work? I work from 9 to 5. Or we can ask this question like this. When do you start your work? At 9. And when do you finish your work? At 5. So you can ask it as a separate question, start and finish, or when do you work in general from 9 to 5. It's up to you. Okay? So again, now I'm making a conversation with you. So what's your job? I'm a doctor. Where do you work? I work at a hospital. What hospital do you work for? I work for, let's say, Al Al Aini Hospital. When do you work? I work from 9 to 5. Number 5, question number 5. And how do you like your job? Do you like it or not? How do you like your job? It means he asks if you like it or no, it's just for money. I like it. I like it a lot. I love it. If you don't like it, I don't like it. I can say I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Zero. I can't stand it. It means I hate it. It means it's just a job. I work it for money only, but I hate it. Okay. And question number 6, the last question. It's number 6, sorry. How do you go to work? How do you go to work? I go to work. How do you go to work? I take the bus. I take the subway. Metro means the metro. I walk if it's near from your house. So it's up to you. So these are the most common questions that is related to the job in general. Number 1, what's your job? The name of the job. Where do you work? The working place. What company or school or hospital? The name of the place that you work in. The time. When do you work? How do you like your job? If you like it or not. How do you go? It means he asks about the transportation. You take the bus, the subway, or the metro. I walk. I drive. You can say anything. I take a taxi. Okay. So what are the jobs? Now I understand the question that people can ask me related to jobs. What are the jobs that I have to know? There are a lot, and I'm not gonna mention all of them. I'm gonna leave you a link that you can just visit and see the rest of the jobs. But I can give you examples of these jobs. Okay, let's see. Teacher, doctor, sorry. Okay, sorry. Teacher, doctor, nurse, all of them are easy so far. Dentist, what is meant by dentist? This is the dentist, guys. Dentist, it means a doctor for your teeth. Dentist, okay? Yeah, doctor for teeth. Vet, what is meant by vet? Vet, it means this, a doctor for dogs, for cats, for animals, a doctor for animals, caring for animals. Okay, pharmacist. Pharmacist. What is meant by pharmacist? This is a pharmacist. We have already taken pharmacy. Do you remember? Yes. So pharmacist, a person who works in a pharmacy or in a drugstore. We have taken it once, as I remember. Yeah, pharmacist, it means a doctor working in a pharmacy for medicine, working in a place for medicine. Engineer is easy. Architect, what is meant by architect? What's the difference between engineer and architect. Engineer could be a computer engineer, for example, IT engineer, hardwares, any of this stuff, okay? But architect, it means an engineer for buildings only, for building houses, okay, for example. Lawyer, we have taken lawyer last time. Judge, this is the judge, guys, judge, okay, yes. Student, you are a student, for example. President, we can say Sadat was a president, okay? Gamal Abdel Nasser was a president, so president, okay? Minister, like, for example, we can say Hala Zaid is a minister, or is a minister of health in Egypt, minister, okay? Minister of health, for example, she is a minister, or he is a minister. Prime minister, what does mean prime minister? We can say Madbouli, or Mustafa Madbouli is the prime minister of Egypt, okay? Pilot, what is meant by pilot? Pilot, it means a person like this, a person who would, let's say, who can fly with the plane, or he can drive the plane, let's say, okay? So this is a pilot. Who can help the pilot? The flight attendant. So the flight attendant helps the pilot and helps the passengers or the travelers, okay? Businessman, it's easy. Cashier is easy. Musician, Omar Khayrat. Omar Khayrat is a musician. Singer, we can say Amr Diab. Amr Diab is a singer. Actor for males, men only. Ahmed Hilmi is an actor. If she is a woman, if she is a female, we say she is an actress. So Mona Zaki is an actress, for example. Waiter, this is for males. Waiters, this is for women, okay, as well. Waiter, this is the waiter, okay, a person who serves or he gives you food in a restaurant. Waitress, if she is a woman, we say she is a waitress, okay? There are some jobs that are different between males and females, only few, they are not a lot. Supervisor, it means a person who supervises your work. We can translate it in Arabic like المشرف يعني. Team leader, a person who leads the team. It means you work in a team and he is the leader of the team, okay? Manager, the manager or the boss, like this. He is the manager, for example, manager of the company or of the factory. Painter, painter has two meanings. We can have the first one, painter, the person who paints the wall, or who paints pictures, we can see as well, okay? Okay, then we have chef or cook. It's easy, chef, okay? Any chef, you can say Sherbini is a chef, okay? I don't know if you have a picture here for chef or for cook. We can say chef or cook. It's up to you. It means, yes, it means a person like this, chef, a person who cooks food for us, okay? Policeman, it's easy, policeman. Soldier, a policeman, like the person who works in the police station. Soldier, like this, soldier. You work in the army, okay? Accountant, it means a person who works with numbers. You have a picture here, I think. Yes, accountant. You see, he works with numbers, calculations, okay? Politician, a person who works in politics, like Amr Musa. Amr Musa is a politician, for example, a person who works in politics. Barber, what does mean by barber? This is the barber, guys, barber. The person who cuts the hair for men. The person who cuts the hair for men. If she is a woman, cuts the hair for women, we say she is a hairdresser. Okay, so hairdresser for women or for females, and barber for males or for men. Okay, garbage collector. What is meant by garbage collector? You can say garbage collector or dustman. It means the person who collects the garbage, okay, or the rubbish from the streets or from different places. We say he is the garbage collector. Fireman or firefighter. I think you know this word, but let's see a picture. Yes, that's it. A fireman or firefighter, a person who fights fire, yeah, using water. Okay. Then we have secretary. Okay, she helps a lot in companies and offices. She has a lot of words. She can answer the phone, okay, types emails and so on. Receptionist, the same idea. She works in the reception, or he works in the reception, okay. Then we have farmer. It's already known word, okay, working in the farm, okay, growing vegetables, you can say, or fruit. So the butcher, this is the butcher, guys. I think we have a picture here. Yes, this is the butcher, a person who works with meat. He sells meat for us. Scientist, like Zuel. Zuel is a scientist, for example. These are some, but not all the jobs, okay? Here are some pictures as well. I got you another one to help you more for the other words. Okay, so like builder, for example, he builds or he helps in building the houses. Plumber, the plumber, he works in toilets. He fixes the pipes, the taps. Okay, so he works in toilets, bathrooms. Okay. Reporter, like for example, he is a reporter for a newspaper, for Al-Ahram or Al-Akhbar. Okay. Optician, it means what? It means a doctor for eye. Okay. So we said dentist, doctor for teeth, don't forget. Okay. Then we have another one that can add to this. Any driver, bus driver, taxi driver. So we say the word driver and we add the word before it. Okay. Carpenter, he works with wood. Yeah, he makes tables, chairs, any of this stuff. TV presenter, it means a person who works on TV and he presents programs. Okay, journalist, okay, he works in a newspaper. Surgeon, like Magdi Yaoub is a surgeon, for example. Electrician, he works with electricity, light, yes, electrician. They are a lot, but I want you to know how to use them. How can I use them? There is a link, I'm gonna send it for you, okay? This link is what? This link is related to this part, okay? It's Learning English Network. Have a look now. Jobs and work. He gives you the name of the job, accountant, for example. What does it mean an accountant? You have to understand the word in English. So if I asked you, what does the accountant do, for example? He makes what exactly? You have to tell me in English, he does what, okay? Barber, how can I say this in English? Butcher, okay, flight attendant, lawyer, painter, photographer, plumber. He gives you a lot of words here. Have a look. Yeah, tailors, for example, vet, waiter, welder. What does mean welder? Okay, so he gives you here the word, the job, what do they do, and where do they work? They work where? The workplace that we mentioned a minute ago. Okay, so an accountant, what does the accountant do exactly? What's his job? What are his tasks? What are his duties? So he looks after the finances. Finances, it means money in an organization or company or factory or any place, it doesn't matter. They work in an office, yes, they work in an office, in a company, in a factory, in a restaurant, any place as well. Okay, so what about the baker? What does mean baker? Okay, so you can look at the picture to help you to understand, just like this. So do you see this? Yeah, and then you go to the word, the explanation of the word. Yeah, baker, he bakes bread. They work in a bakery. Okay, اللي هو زي محل المخبوزات كده. Barber, yeah, what does the barber do? He shaves men's beard and cuts men hair. They work in what? In a barber's or salon. You can say a salon as well. Both are correct. Butcher, prepare and sell meat. They work in a butcher's. Chef, prepare and cook food. Dentist, look after people's teeth. Doctors, look after people's health. Okay, and so on. You are going to go over all of them. What does mean vet? Look after people's animals. Waiter or waitress serve people food. and drink, they work in a restaurant. Okay, welder, he welds meat to make things, metal to make things. They work in a factory and construction. Okay, so he is going to explain everything for you now. So now we have taken the jobs, the common questions that are related to jobs, some of the jobs and explanation for them, and the workplaces. Workplaces, like what? It means the place that these people work in. Hospital. Okay, so the doctors work in a hospital. If the doctor has his own, like his own office, what do we call it? We call it in English what? Clinic. Yes. School for teachers, university for teachers and doctors, academy, institute. Okay, institute, it means mahad. Okay, court. Who works in the court? Do you remember this? Do you remember this word? The judge. Where does the judge work? We have taken this with lawyers. Do you remember? Yes. Court, office, cinema, theater. Cinema and theater. Okay. Cinema is easy. Theater, like Adil Imam's theater, for example. Adil Imam's theater. Okay. Fire station, yeah, for firemen. Hotel, restaurant. Airport, who works in the airport? Do you remember? Who works in the airport? Pilot and flight attendant. Yes, both of them work in the airport. Very good. Post office, the postman. Okay. Store or shop. Store or shop, you can say anything before the word shop. For example, if it's a shop for clothes, so we can say clothes shop. If it's for shoes, shoes shop. If it's for toys, toy shop. Supermarket, to sell vegetables, fruit, and food. Police station for policeman. Okay, very good. Now, for homework on this part, we are going to try to answer these questions. He gives you here the explanation of the job, and you are gonna answer what's this job like. I move people around, I drive a car, I charge a fare, I drive a taxi. So who is he? What's the job? Taxi driver, for example. So you are going to read them and answer what's the job. Okay? Number 2. These are some jobs and occupations, but the word is not written correctly. The word is not written correctly. He gives you the letter and you are going to write, you are going to write the word. So I'm gonna do the first one for you. It's F and R and E and M, R, A. So it's what it makes with what word? Farmer. So I'm going to arrange the words, rearrange them, the letters, sorry. Okay, we're going to rearrange them and say what's the job. One more thing, for the worksheet, from page 7 to page 10, I wrote to you the number. And what's a risky job for you personally? What's a job that you think it's dangerous? It's risky or dangerous. You know the word dangerous or risky? It's the same word. It's a synonym. Dangerous word. Dangerous job. What's a risky or dangerous job, and why? Why do you consider it as dangerous or risky? Okay. Now let's move to the book. We are going to take the part that is related to the job. So here in this part, okay, do you see the jobs? It's like the job map, okay? He gives you here some jobs: architect, receptionist, director, flight attendant, supervisor, engineer, salesperson, secretary, professor, sales manager, security guard, and word processor. I want you to divide them. Which one of them is professional, is related to something that has a skill, like architect, management possession, like the director, like the boss or manager, service, occupation, it gives service to people, flight attendant, office work, office, it means he can sit in an office and work, like the receptionist. So you are gonna divide them into these parts here, okay? This is number one. Number two, work and workplaces. He gives you here some pictures and some jobs. Look at the pictures, match the information, column A, B, and C. So for example, a salesperson. What does a salesperson do in his job? So a salesperson, we are gonna arrange it in a sentence. So the first sentence, I'm gonna say the first sentence as an example. A salesperson sells clothes in a department store. Department store like hyper, it's divided into small stores. So a salesperson sells clothes in a department store. You are going to make a sentence by matching it from A, B, and C, okay? This is homework number two. Homework number three, describing work. Now, I want you to listen to this conversation and try to see if you understand it or not. If you don't understand any word, just ask. If you understand all the questions and all the answers, I want you to listen to the rest of the conversation. What does Jason do? You are going to answer this in your notebook, and then we are going to revise them together, inshallah. How does he like his job? So listen, please, and try to complete the answers, okay?
Page 11, Exercise 7, Conversation, Daily Schedules. Part A. Page 10, Exercise 5, Grammar Focus. Simple. Unit 2. Unit A. Page 9, Exercise 4, Conversation, Describing Work. Part A. Listen and practice. Where do you work, Andrea?
I work for Thomas Cook Travel.
Oh, really? What do you do there?
I'm a guide. I take people on tours to countries in South America, like Peru.
That sounds interesting.
Yes, it's a great job. I love it. And what do you do?
I'm a student, and I have a part-time job, too,
Oh, where do you work?
in a fast food restaurant.
Which restaurant?
Hamburger Heaven. Page 9, Exercise 4, Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. 1. What does Jason do exactly? 2. How does he like his job?
What do you do exactly? Do you make hamburgers?
No, I don't. I just take orders.
And what's it like there? Do you like your job?
Sure, it's fun. And I get free hamburgers, too.
Okay, so did you get it, guys? If you want to repeat, just repeat the audio once or twice until you get the answer correctly. This question, which restaurant is equal? Do you remember this question that we mentioned? Which one? Yeah, what company do you work for? I can say it's equal to this question. So we can say which, and you say the word, which company, which school, which hospital, it's the same. Which company, or which hospital, or which school. Okay, you can answer it like this as well, or you can do it as well in this way or in this way. So you can use which, or you can use what. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, what I do, I'm a student and I have part-time job, and I told you part-time job, it means it's not a full-time, it's not like 8 hours per day, it's just for 2 hours or 3 hours, less than the 8. So I want you to try to answer these questions. If we answered them last time, it's okay. If we didn't, this is gonna be homework as well. You are going to try to answer. Okay, the next part, number P. What do you know about these jobs? Now, if I asked you, what do you know about a doctor? So you can tell me he works in a hospital, or he or she. Maybe he has, we don't say office, we say clinic more, works long hours, cares for a patient, perfect. What about travel agent? What do you know about him? What about a police officer? What do you know about him? So this is your homework, guys. You are going to write 4 points about the travel agent and 4 points about the police officer as well. Okay? The homework, the other homework is gonna help you in this part. You are going to find the answer in the part that we mentioned. Okay? Let's listen for this conversation as well. Daily schedules.
Page 11, Exercise 7, Conversation, Daily Schedules. Part A, Listen and Practice. How do you spend your day, Helen?
Well, on weekdays I get up around 10. Then I read the paper for an hour and have lunch at about noon.
Really? What time do you go to work?
I start work at 3.
And when do you get home at night?
I get home pretty late, around midnight.
So, what do you do exactly?
I'm a TV announcer. Don't you recognize me? I do the weather report on KNTV.
Gee, I'm sorry. I don't watch TV. Page 11, Exercise 7, Part B. Listen to Daniel describe how he spends his day. 1. What time does he get up? Start work. Study until. 2. What does he do?
And you, Daniel, what's your day like?
Well, right now I'm in school, so I just have a part-time job. But I'm pretty busy. I get up early, around 6 a.m. Then I work from 7 until 9. I go to school and study until 4 p.m. Then I work again from 5 until 7.
So what do you do?
I'm a dog walker.
A what? What's that?
A dog walker. I take people's dogs for walks. It's great. And it keeps me in shape, too.
Okay, so now you are going to reread it again. If there is a difficult word, you can ask. If there is no difficult word, try to answer these questions. If you want to repeat it, repeat the audio or the video once and twice until you get the answer as well. Okay? Okay, I think we answered this last time. Yeah, but maybe we didn't answer this. So I'm not so sure if we answered this or not. So we can listen to the last listening part and try to get the answers as well. Okay? So try to complete the job, when to get up, get home, and goes to bed at what time. Okay? Maybe this is our last listening part.
Page 12, Exercise 9, Grammar Focus, Time Expression. Page 12, Exercise 10, Listening. Part A. Listen to Rodney, Tina, and Ellen talk about their daily schedules. Complete the chart.
What do you do, Rodney?
I'm a chef.
Hey, that's great. So what are your work hours like?
They're okay. I work in the afternoons and evenings. I get up around 9 a.m. and I work from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. I get home fairly late, about 11 p.m. and I'm usually in bed by 1 in the morning. And what do you do, Tina?
Well, I'm an office manager. It's a regular 9 to 5 office job. So I get up at 7 a.m. and get home around 6 p.m. That's okay though, because I like to go out at night. I go to bed around midnight on weekdays.
What about you, Ellen?
Well, my job is a bit different. I'm a flight attendant. I start work at 6 in the morning, so I have to get up before 5 a.m. Wow, that's too early for me. Then I often have long flights, so I don't get home until 9 o'clock at night, but I always go straight to bed around 10.
Okay, so try to answer these questions as well. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the end of this part. And don't forget the listening part, and don't forget to study the words from here. Okay, it's really important to understand the word and its task or its duty, and where do they work, the word is. Okay, I think this is enough for this part. Thank you and see you inshallah next time. Bye.